he was one of our frequent guests on this program. That is Dr. John Kuma. But he passed away today. Well, here's our tribute to Dr. John Kuma as one of our guests on this show, Deputy Minister of Finance, engaging here at Joy Business. This is a tribute about him and also what he did as the Deputy Minister of Finance.
Until his death, Dr. John Kuma was the Member of Parliament for Ejisu in the Ashanti region and also the Deputy Finance Minister. He's a lawyer and an entrepreneur with over 15 years' experience in leadership, creativity, innovation, and resourcefulness in creating jobs and supporting youth development. As the first Chief Executive Officer for the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program, NEP, he successfully positioned the NEP as the enabler of the entrepreneurship ecosystem in Ghana. Under his leadership, the program trained 7,000 startups in 2018 under the Presidential Business Support Program and supported 1,350 beneficiaries with funds. Prior to working for government, John Kuma was the founding member and managing partner of Edua Proche Chambers, a law firm. He also worked as the founder of Majak Associates Limited, a building and construction company. In November 2020, Dr. John Kuma received a doctorate in business innovation from the Swiss Business School in Switzerland. Before then, he had acquired a master's in applied business research at the same business school in 2019. In 2009, he had an executive master's degree in business administration from the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, GIMPA. It all began at the University of Ghana, where he earned a Bachelor of Arts degree in Economics with Philosophy, a Bachelor of Arts degree in Law LLB in 2011, and a Professional Law Certificate from the Ghana School of Law in 2013. He was admitted to the Ghana Bar in 2013. As an entrepreneur by birth, a lawyer by profession, a politician by choice, a preacher by divine calling, he sees none of these as an accident but a call to serve humanity. He's a family man with 6 children and married to Apostle Mrs. Lillian Kuma.
Tell those who also say that, all these things, they don't see government taking a chunk of whatever that will happen. Maybe sometimes even absorbing whatever shocks and all those things. That if I have any money anywhere or even all those things, I don't see or feel that total burden sharing the government is talking about. Everything is being pushed on consumers, taxes are being brought on, there are discussions about debt exchange and all the rest. And these are things that are still scenarios. People don't get the sense that Dr. John Kuma is saying that because of this, Honorable Senior Minister, I want to take a 50% cut, even at their own. They are not seeing that. And that's why people are sometimes, they are mad, they are angry with government that we don't see that government because like banking sector cleanup and all the rest, and that is not being seen.
Well, government, especially in 2022, announced 30% cut in salaries of political appointees. Of course, fuel coupons and, like I said, rent allowances and all those things are being withdrawn even from the 2023 budget. So there's a lot of sacrifices that government is making. But of course, if people want to see more, they're entitled to that.
But isn't that the reality, Honorable? Because some are saying that, for instance, banking sector cleanup or whatever finality that you reach on this debt exchange program and all the rest, I want to see government take a chunk of whatever it will be.
But the government sector cleanup, government spent 25 billion.
Yeah. How much cost?
Depositors.
Yeah. How much cost is government taking on that? Because someone was blaming that the indecision of regulators has caused that.
Yes.
Why should I suffer for the indecision of a regulator in the space?
I
want that regulator even to take a pay cut on that one. So some are saying that these are the things people want to see.
Yes.
In these times.
Yes. And also don't forget that people are facing trial as a result of...
But the money has still not been recovered.
Of course, there's a receiver working on that. I don't know how much has been
okay.
Some monies are being recovered. I don't know how much of it. But these are objective questions to raise, what is happening and what can be done to improve on the situations. But the assurance is that government is committed to addressing those concerns, and government is showing by leadership that they are cutting what they are also entitled to in these difficult times, and making sure that we are bringing down the cost of governance.
I see. Interesting. So with all these things, at least by the end of December, we'll get a fair idea about this. So debt exchange program and all the rest.
Yes, the details will come.
So what are you telling investment houses out there and all the firms who are worried about some of these scenarios that have been put out there?
Yes, to assure them that there is no cause for concern, and government is determined to engage them in an orderly and amicable manner to reach the conclusions that will serve all parties' interests. And as we speak today, there are no conclusions. And so nobody should be worried. Government has only announced its intentions on the program. It is going to be formally launched, and then the formal engagement will happen until conclusions are reached.
And this is PM Express Business Edition. Tonight, it's a two-part thing. We'll be engaging the executive chairman of Kumah Properties in an ordinary chairman. He has to look at affordable housing in Ghana today. Is it a myth or a reality? But before we get into that conversation, as we engage that lawyer and somebody who appreciates housing, financing, and development in Ghana here, we are remembering Dr. John Kuma, who passed away today. Let's get on to Zoom and speak to Sheriff Gali. He is the Chamber of Entrepreneurs. And for those who know John Kuma, he actually was an area that he was so much focused on. So let's get the thoughts of Sheriff Gali. Sheriff, good evening and thank you so much for joining us on PM Express Business Edition. As somebody who was an entrepreneur, and this is an area that Dr. John Kuma was so passionate about, what memories do you have of him working in this space with the late Dr. John Kuma?
George, thank you for this opportunity. Today has been a very sad day for all of us in the ecosystem. When I mean ecosystem, I'm talking about the entrepreneurship ecosystem development in Ghana, because the person called John Kuma was very instrumental when it comes to entrepreneurship development. Just few months ago, John Kuma actually integrated some of us into a committee that gave some funding to hubs across Ghana. And one of the statements he made was, Sheriff, you guys are doing well in the entrepreneurship ecosystem. Though I'm here at the Ministry of Finance, I am still with you guys, and I'm going to do whatever I can do to support the entrepreneurship ecosystem. George, one of the reasons why it is much blow to us at the ecosystem is that together with some ecosystem actors, we are pushing for a bill called the Ghana Innovation and Startup Bill. I want to tell you on this platform that John is one of the politicians that is aware of the bill. We started working with John Kuma when he was at NEIP, and John has taken serious this bill and promised us that when it gets to Parliament, he's going to be one of the few that would advocate for the passage of the Ghana Startup and Innovation Bill. So you can understand how it is a big blow to us at the ecosystem. And I cannot use words to describe who John was. It doesn't matter where you belong to, which political party you were, what you stand for. John was willing to support you. I personally met John, I think in 2017, when he was appointed by the president. And he called me, Sheriff, I've been seeing you guys doing a lot of work with the young entrepreneur, with the Ghana Chamber of Young Entrepreneurs. I would love to work with you. The president is giving me a mandate to support the entrepreneurship ecosystem development. And I can't do it alone. I need to work with people like you. And since then, I have been working with John, the Chamber of Young Entrepreneurs. And I can tell you today, it's a big blow to us. Everybody in the ecosystem, especially who understand who he is, we don't really care about his political affiliation. What we are sad about is the intentions John Kuma had for entrepreneurship development in Ghana.
And if I'm right to ask that for those of you in this entrepreneurship space, you're really going to miss the late Dr. John Kuma.
Definitely. We are already missing him just a day, and we are all sad. In one of our ecosystem development platform where we have the chairman of the Hub Network and all that matters, everybody is sad this evening, and we are even still talking about it right now. Everybody is sad. So we definitely going to miss John Kuma. You see, it takes few politicians like him to understand what it takes to develop ecosystem. Because when it comes to entrepreneurship ecosystem development, it's a deliberate attempt, and it's only people who understand what it takes to support entrepreneurs that can support them. And John Kuma, I can tell you for fact, was one of them that really understand what it takes to support entrepreneurs. And definitely, you miss such a figure if he's no more. Yeah.
Sharif, engaging him, and as we wrap up with you and on just this quick segment on remembering Dr. John Kuma, in a minute, for you, what lesson do you think that he taught you, the entrepreneurs, in working with him? In a minute.
John has always taught that, as all of us, that be humble, let the process flow. He has one quote that every single day he put it on his status. He said, aim and shoot. If you don't hit the moon, but if you miss the stars, but you may hit the moon, something like that. And it has always been something for the past years. I know John Kuma, every time he puts it on his status. And one thing he has taught every ecosystem actor, if you really follow him, is that be patient, be humble, and work hard. Let the process the process will show results. And that has been John Kuma. Affable, strong, hardworking, and doesn't discriminate. We will forever miss John. May his soul rest in.
Sheriff Gali, I appreciate your time so much, sharing those thoughts with me about the late Dr. John Kuma. Also, there was another issue that when he was here with us on PM Express, we actually argued about. Let's have the clip play. And don't forget that we still haven't forgotten our main discussion for this evening as we engage the lawyer and the executive chairman of Comet Properties, Nana chairman, to look at affordable housing in Ghana. So let's roll that clip, and as we move to our second topic for tonight. Government has to raise revenue, but how do you convince Ghanaians out there that in times like this, the last thing we're looking forward to is a VAT going up by 2.5%? You hope to realize as a 2.7 billion are assigned to be educated or corrected in terms of the expected revenue. And for a traditional government that oppose VAT and and all the rest. and in times like this, that this was the last thing people were expecting from me because of the environment, the challenges. And for some Ghanaians, they'll struggle to understand this.
Yes, so, when VAT was introduced, is it 1996? I've forgotten the year.
I think so, yeah.
It was started with 17.5. And even how many years now? Almost 20-something years on, we are still talking about 15%. You get it? We opposed at the time the rate at which they started the VAT from. We never said that VAT wasn't a good idea. So let's put that in perspective. And then the increment of 2.5%, I mean, if you look at the options available, I mean, at the moment, because of this Russia-Ukraine war on fuel across the world, you cannot say you are going to put any tax or levy on fuel. And so your best option is to look at how best you can still raise revenues within the difficult environment that we find ourselves.